Arkansas, we went all the way to the nation's capital. We are in the White House right now. Now we're just downtown Little Rock at the Clinton Presidential Center. A presidential center, one of 13 in the United States that partner with National Archives and Records Administration. You're going to see one that's preparing to celebrate its 17th anniversary. And I like to tell first-time visitors that this is the only place in the world that they can go to see the history from a presidential perspective of the last 8 years of the 20th century. Probably without exception, the #1 exhibit is the Oval Office, everyone's favorite. It is an exact replication of the Oval Office in the White House, in the West Wing, and it's spectacular. I think it's really neat that these are the pictures of President Clinton's family that were on his desk when he was serving. No, you don't have to make an appointment. When you come to the museum, you can sit at a replica of the actual desk and there will be a photographer. You can get your picture made, just like the president. We also have an exact replica of the cabinet room so that our visitors, they can sit in the president's chair, they can learn about the role of the executive branch of government and the important events that happened during that time. We have about 80 million pages of documents. We have over 100,000 artifacts. These would be gifts and pieces that came into the administration during the time from his swearing in. What you see in our exhibit is approximately 5% of what's there. The library itself was set up to be self-directed. I think you could easily go through in 2 hours.
It's more than a souvenir store. It's a museum store, and I like that because it's artful and it's thoughtful. And I've known the Clintons for 45 years, and so I know what their tastes are, what their likes are, and what they support.
What does this little red button do? You should come and discover the Clinton Presidential Center Library and Museum and go discover Arkansas. Yeah, can you bring the limo around? We're at the Mosaic Templars Cultural Center in downtown Little Rock, and I saw Corrales in our parking lot and said, you gotta jump in the car and let's go check this out.
And I'm like, absolutely, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, hey, Katie.
Hey, guys. So we're standing in Mosaic Templars Cultural Center. We're in the heart of the historic Black Business District for Little Rock. The building that's standing is actually a recreation of the original structure, which was the Mosaic Templars of America. So there was a fraternal organization that started a business in the late 1800s. It was actually started by 2 former slaves.
And then he opened the Wiley Jones Streetcar Company with the mule drum. Wow.
As the state-funded African American History Museum for the state, we preserve, interpret, and celebrate that entrepreneurial spirit, but also history and culture for the state of Arkansas.
It's just the amount of history that you can find here.
So when people step into the museum, they are in for an amazing treat. We have such a mixture and blend of rich African American history and culture. They'll be able to learn about the achievements of African Americans in Arkansas, but also the struggle. I want to show you guys something that's brand new. This is our 360-degree theater. And so this really gives people an opportunity when they first come into the museum to learn a little bit about the history. This space right now, we're actually entering. You'll get a chance to see some of the photos and images for the renovation project. So here on these easels, it shows you what the space is going to look like once it's completely done. Oh my gosh.
1942.
Yeah, so here's Nat King Cole.
All right, ladies, so here is the huge surprise. It's like this amazing treasure. So we really wanted children to have the opportunity to learn about Arkansas right alongside their parents.
So this represents, we all have thumbprints, but they're all very different. We're all the same, but we're all very different.
Yeah, and so what's amazing and what really makes this a treasure for Arkansas is there's no other state that has a children's space inside of a cultural history museum that are teaching kids this from 0 to 9.
Well, I am brave, I am smart, and I am kind. Love the message it sends. She is 5, ethnicity Black. And then you have everything from family income, disability even, so it's very inclusive.
We couldn't leave without getting something from the gift shop. What did you get?
Got a coffee mug right here.
Most people know the desegregation story here at Little Rock Central High School, but have you been to the Visitor Center? We're about to discover it today with help from Chief Interpreter of National Parks, David Kilton. You ready?
Let's go. At the Visitor Center, we have an exhibit area that you can go through the history, including what happened before, the events surrounding the desegregation and kind of the leading into what happened here in Little Rock just after, and then how that played out into a much broader national story leading into the civil rights movement. So these are listening stations where you can tie in to different aspects of the story itself or connected stories in the history.
Showing the first, second, and third attempt into the school inside Central High School, the bomb drills, the harassment. This puts it really into perspective when you can look here and then look there. Right now there is a graduation exhibit because of the season we're in. These exhibits rotate in and out, and this is Ernest Green, the first African-American graduate at Central High.
So we get students from all over that look at this picture and talk about how you may want to take that moment to go viral and break the internet, but remember, you're going to have to live with that image forever. The original stamp came out as part of the 50th, and the artist donated this painting to us, so we have it on display.
When Bill Clinton was president, this hung in the White House at the time. Press from all around the world would have been camped out to get the story of the segregation of Central High School.
The gas station owner, knowing he wasn't going to be selling much gas because there was so much traffic here, said, yeah, come in and use my phone, you just have to buy something every time you use it. So
we're standing in the Central High commemorative garden where 9 trees have been planted in honor of the Little Rock Central 9 students.
a statue that was commissioned for the 60th anniversary, and it is showing that they are still trying to unite those two circles.
Legislation actually just passed so that these 7 homes in front of Central High can receive grants to be preserved just as they were in 1957 because they were part of the backdrop of this story. At the Governor Mike Huckabee Delta Rivers Nature Center, they have a lot of different animals here for us to see that are native to the Delta. It's been open since 2001, so let's go and take a look.
So here at the Nature Center, we offer 3 miles of trails. We also have this 22,000-gallon aquarium. It's the largest outdoor freshwater aquarium in Arkansas. We have a lot of different animals and exhibits to see.
We're checking on this guy.
Okay. Have to play it a little bit.
Yeah, I want to see his license and registration. We learned some boating safety, all of the things you need to know if you're on the water in Arkansas. This is the river table. This is actually where we're located. It shows you the 100-year floodplain. The part that is lit now is where the river used to run 150 years ago, but it shifted over time.
People come here to learn about the Delta, so that's what this Nature Center's focus is. So we talk about the Arkansas Delta, we talk about the river, we talk about the swamps, and we talk about wetland areas and how important they are to Arkansas, and especially during flooding and things like that, and how important they are to wildlife and the recovery of wildlife species. The Delta has some of the best farming soil.
Do you want to go on the statewide Arkansas Game and Fish Commission facility tour, or do you want to just tour the Delta? Let's tour the Delta.
This is Cook's Lake. It formed when the White River wandered into a new channel.
And then also the Delta is a great place for wildlife to grow up, so is excellent nursery areas. So that's why we have bald eagles come here and raise their young. We have ducks come here.
This is one of the reasons why that Arkansas is such a popular place for duck hunting, because all of the ducks come through Canada, through Arkansas on their way to Argentina. This is the perfect spot if you just want to sit, relax, and watch the birds. It's their wildlife observation area.
3 bald eagles, 2 red-tailed hawks, a barred owl, a great horned owl, and a black vulture.
So the reason we have our birds here is because they have injuries and can't be released into the wild.
They have a 6.5-foot gator here, but she's dormant right now and hibernating inside.
We have 5 of the 6 venomous species of snake.
As you can tell, they have a lot of beautiful creatures here at the Nature Center. It's open from Wednesday to Saturday from 10 to 4. So come and discover this Nature Center and go discover Arkansas.